Hello, welcome to AK Academy. Welcome to a new Blazor topic. Today we will talk about real-time, SignalR, and Blazor WebAssembly. Okay, it's Ahmed Muzaffar with you at the beginning. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, certified solution developer, and currently working as a .NET full stack developer. In this session, what we are going to do actually is something like this. We will create an API, very basic API with only one controller and one action that sends a message to all the connected clients. Here is a Blazor WebAssembly client. When we click the connect button, we connect to the hub, so the SignalR hub. Then even if we have multiple clients, we can, every time we call an action on the API, it sends a message to the clients, all the clients, like, hey, another message exactly at the right time. You don't have to trigger any events or to do anything. So let's get started. So before we get started, let me explain to you a little bit about real-time and SignalR just to make things more clear. First, I will define real-time very simple. Real-time means when the app gets updated exactly when the event occurs at that time. Like, for example, WhatsApp is a real-time chat application. You don't receive the message that's being sent from another user after 10 seconds or 20 seconds or even a minute. You receive it directly in the right time, in the real time, when that user sends to you that message. Another example, like the news. You get notified about the breaking news directly in the real time when it happens. Not after 1 hour or 2 hours. This means the real time, okay? And in the modern application, it's a very important function in every sort of application, like especially when it comes to gaming. Look at Facebook, Twitter, notification system, messenger applications. This is the typical use of it, but now currently it's being used everywhere, even in normal business application. Adding real-time functionality helps and providing a very cool user experience, like getting the other users updates about what other users doing in the system, or when new things being added, removed, or deleted, specific operation, something like this. So real-time is something very important. So what about SignalR? SignalR actually is a real-time framework created by Microsoft to enable the communication between the server and client. It was built on top of the WebSockets. I won't go in details too much about SignalR itself. We will just want to learn how we can use it in our Blazor WebAssembly applications. Okay, so as I've said, it enables the communication between the server and the client. As you know, client can simply call functions existing on the server by, for example, if the server is an API, simply from the client you can send an HTTP request. But here with SignalR, even server can call the clients, can tell the client to run this function, or like they can provide two-way communication between each other. Not only the client call the server and server responds back, even the server can call functions existing on the client. Here I will give you an example about implementing a notification system in your application with using SignalR and without using SignalR. So first, I will starting without using SignalR or real-time functionality in general. How you can let your users know about that, hey, there is something happened in the system, and send notifications to the user. Actually, the typical use is to create a function that's running every 5 minutes, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, or whatever. Every 5 seconds, let's say, the client will tell the server, hey, is there any update? Then the server responds. After 5 seconds, the client sends another request. Hey, is there any updates? The server also responds. After 5 seconds, like blah blah blah, forever. And this is, yeah, like even here inside this example, it's rude some way. Like the client seems not respectful. Like he's always asking the server, keep nagging all the time. This consumes a lot of resources on the client and even for the server. But when using real-time functionality, this can happen only with one simple request, like the server gets updated for something, like a user have written a comment on a specific post. You want to notify the user that owns that post. You can simply from the server send the comment to the client and say, hey, that user commented on your post and this is the comment, basically. So in this way, the client don't send too much requests, and also he gets updated on that comment exactly in the real time when another user wrote that comment. So this is a very quick introduction for real-time and SignalR in general. Now it's time to move to Visual Studio and see how we can implement that in Blazor. So let's go. First, I will start Visual Studio 2019, click on Create Project. Okay, I will choose Blazor App, next. Okay, here I will choose Place, Documents, AK Academy, Blazor Topics, and SignalR. Okay, select that folder. I will call the project Blazor Real-Time. Okay, this is the name of the solution and the project, but I will name the whole solution Blazor Real-Time because inside our solution there will be two projects, an API project and the Blazor project, the Blazor Webassembly. So I will call this project.blazor. Here I will remove this from the solution name, so it's like this. Hit create. Okay, here Blazor Webassembly, it's still in the preview edition till now. It's gonna be available for production in May, so it's not available by default in Visual Studio 2019 and .NET Core 3.1. So if you don't have it, I highly recommend you to watch the getting started video with inside the Blazor topics playlist to learn how you can install the Blazor Webassembly template and get starting with Blazor. I will put the link for that video inside the description box. So I will hit create. Okay, that's cool. The application has been initialized. Now I will add another project, which is an API, new project. We'll choose ASP.NET Core Web Application. I will call it Blazor Realtime.Server. Okay, choose API and hit create. Okay, now to get started, we need to, I will create a very basic controller that simply does nothing. I just can send a post request to it that contains a message. Then this API will call the Blazor application that, hey, I have got this message. So I will create a new API controller, empty API, and I will call it notifications controller, notifications like this, and hit add. Okay, here we go. Now, this is good. Now, before sending requests, before initializing SignalR, there is something very important. I need to enable CORS, which is cross-origin resource sharing. So our Blazor client application can send requests to this API because, as you know, browser or the server prevents browser from sending requests from their own to the client-side requests to a foreign APIs or a foreign web application that's actually not owned by that domain. So here enabling CORS will let this API or let this web application receive all the requests from all the applications or browsers or client-side applications. That depends on the browser. So if you want to know more and more about CORS, also I will put another link so you can get in details, but for now we can simply enable it by just services.add CORS like this. Say options.add policy, I will call it course policy. If you don't enable course, you can send requests from your Blazor application to the server or to the API. Like in general, maybe in this current demo, we won't send any requests, but in general, always when you create a Blazor WebAssembly application with an API, don't forget to enable course, at least for that website. But here in this demo, I will enable it for everything. So here, I'll add a policy. Okay. Policy dot allow any origin, allow any method, dot allow any header, like this. Okay. Okay, and another okay. Yeah. Here I will come to the configure to add the meddler, use course, and the name of the policy, like this. Yeah, now we are ready. Okay, the next step is to initialize SignalR on the server. So go for dependencies, manage NuGet packages, browse and install Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.SignalR. Yes, like this. Okay, and hit install. Okay, now we're ready. Close this one. Nice. Now, in SignalR, there is something called hub. Hub is the hub where the client and the server can communicate with each other. Like the hub enables the client to call functions on the server and vice versa. The server can call functions on the client via the hub. So to create that, simply click on the server, add a new class. I will call it notification hub. Like this. That hub you should just inherit from hub. Import the Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.SignalR like this, and now you are ready. Actually, this is the simplest class maybe you can create in your whole life, but now without adding anything, this hub is working very fine. But I will try to type override here to see what the function that I can override from available on hub. Unconnected, undisconnected. Unconnected actually provides me with a lot of, or in general enables me to do something when a user connected to this hub, and undisconnected does the same thing, but when the user is disconnected. Here I can use it, for example, to register that user or whatever, getting the ID if you want to store that ID so you can communicate the server with only that user. But for this demo we will communicate in general with all the clients. Then I will make a specific video which is more advanced about how you can communicate with the clients, with a specific clients or with a group of clients, that's another level of SignalR, but everything is very easy from the start till the end. Okay, so for now this hub is enough. Now, the last step you should do is, or actually two steps. Go to startup and enable SignalR, services.add SignalR like this, and you have to map that hub to a specific URL in your application. So here you can see endpoints dot map hub like this. It's a generic method. Specify the type of the hub, which is notification hub, and here specify the URL of that hub, which is /notification hub like this. Okay, now we are ready. We can move to the notifications controller and create that action, HTTP post public async task action result post a notification. We will just send a string, which is the title, like this. Yeah, that's enough. I will say here from URL or from query. Yeah, like this. Okay. Now, here we should inject an iHub context of type notification hub from the dependency container, because when you, in the startup, when you configure the service, add SignalR, it directly add or register an iHub context object inside the container, so you can inject it in your controllers or whenever you want to use it. So I'll create a private read-only iHub context of type notification hub, call it hub context, then set the constructor. Okay, context, that's cool. Okay, here we have got an instance injected. So here what we want to do is whenever we call this function from anywhere, we want to notify or to send this title for all the connected clients to our hub, so they got this title sent to them. How we can do this? That's very easy. We can just say await hub context. The hub context, as you remember, there is clients and the groups. Actually, we haven't created any groups and we don't deal with the groups in this video, so we'll go for clients. Clients dot. Here I have plenty of functions to enable me contact or define my audience that I'm interested to send them the message I want to send. Actually, each user here is just an ID. You can get this ID from when the user connected to you by overriding the onConnected async function in your hub, but for now we will send our message for all our clients. So we can say clients.all dot send async. Send async takes two things. First, it's a string that defines like the type of the message or the contract, you can say. You will say this new notification, or I will call it simply notification. It just helps you to filter sort of messages, like sometimes you send notifications, sometimes you send messages, you send, let's say, new employee has been added to the system, but for now we are sending notification. And the value of it, you can put it here, so it is the title, or I will send it like this, title date time dot now, then that title. So at the end you just return okay and send a message to the client's message or notification has been sent successfully. Okay, that's good. This is everything for the server. It's a pretty easy operation, just the son of code. You can send whatever you want. If you want to send objects, you can basically get that object. Like here, imagine you have a car object, simply serialize it to a JSON, send it as a string, and deserialize it on the client. That's easy. So now we can move to the client, going to the Blazor project, and okay, always you should here again install the ASP.NET Core library. SignalR, but this one is for the client. So it's ASP.NET-Core.SignalR.Client, like this. Yeah. Now here, install this library. Accept. Let's close this one. I will close all these files. Save. Now, I will go to the pages and to the index, which is the main component. Okay, I'll remove this. Basically, welcome to SignalR with Blazor, and I will remove this. Here I will add the status of the connection, and then I will create a row. Inside this row I will create column. Yeah. Then inside it, I will send all or show all the messages I receive. So before we do anything, now before the design, we should enable that communication with that SignalR hub. So I will type here the URL of our API, which is, I can get it from here. Go to the server, properties, debug, and this is the URL of the HTTPS. If you disable HTTPS, so this is the app URL. I will take this one and paste it here, / notification hub. Okay. That's cool. Now I will enable that when a user click on the connect button. So I'll add a button here, give it a class btn, success connect. Okay, good. Now to connect, I will create a variable of type hub connection. We should add using Microsoft.ASP.NET-Core.SignalR.Client. Yeah. So this is the hub connection. Let's call it connection. It's equals to null for now. Then I will create a function that connects to the server. Private async task connect to server, like this. Now the connection is this one equals to new hub connection builder. Okay, then call that function with URL. The URL I've set before, then build. Okay, like this. That's good. Here I will add a message string. Come on, string connection status equals to closed by default. I will bind it inside this one. Connection status at bind for that. That's nice. Now to start the connection, you can basically say connection.start async. Add a wait here. Change the connection status equals to connected. Cool. Another thing you can do is, if the connection gets closed for some reasons, you can reconnect again by subscribing to an event closed, like this. Here I will create a lambda expression. Okay, connection status equals closed or disconnected, and connect again. Await connection dot start async. Here we have to add async. Sorry, here just takes one parameter. Okay, like this. That's cool. Now, whenever the connection gets closed for some reason, simply we connect again. Okay. Now we have connected successfully. Let's try that. I will run the application, but before, let's bind this one on click. It's an async method, so you can say async, add the lambda expression here. Await the connect to server, like this. And another thing I want to do is to add a flag called is connected. It's false by default, and disable this button if the connection is connected, so he cannot click connect again. Here, when the connection connected is connected equals to true, here is connected equals to false, and the connection connected again is true. Okay, that's good. Now let's run the apps. We want to run both. What if this is connected is not valid? Okay. I want to run both applications together, so I will right click on the solution, set startup projects, choose multiply startup projects, and click start on this one and start on this one, and hit OK. Let's run. Okay, this is our API up and running. Now, again, okay, this is our Blazor application. Now I will try to click connect. Sorry, I've got an exception. I will try to check here. So I think this is because of failing sending the request of connection to the API. This is related to course, but we have enabled course anyway. We'll come here to check. Sorry, this is mistype course policy. Then I'll copy it, paste it here. Here also. I haven't typed it correctly in 2 places. Wow. Now let's try again. Okay, this is the Blazor, this is the API, click the connect. Okay, that's good. We have connected successfully. That's good. Now let's see if we go to the hub. I will override on connected async like this. Then I will set a breakpoint here. I will debug dot writeLine context, which is a property available in the base class hub, dot connection ID. I will print the connection of the connected user. Okay, click connect. You see the breakpoint has been hit. Now this is the connection ID of this user. You can store it somewhere if you want to only send messages to this user. Okay, now let's remove this breakpoint and continue execution. That's good. Now the next step we can do is to receive each message being sent to the server and show it here. So I will create a list of string, call it notifications equals to new notifications, and here iterate over that objects notifications, and each notification I will create a row inside it. Come on, h4 add item, yeah, like this. So every time we just iterate over those notifications and create a new row, type that the content of that notification inside and h4. That's good. Now to receive the messages being sent from the server, that's very easy. Simply you can say connection.on. This means every time or on receiving a message. Okay, here we define the type for message, which is string. Here we have two things or two arguments. The first one is the method name. As you remember, we have set it in the server to notification. If we go back to the notifications controller, this is the method name. Set it to notification. And the second one is an action that takes an argument, which is the message that have been sent. So I will write here m, create a lambda expression, and what we want to do is just to insert this message inside this list, the notifications list. So notifications dot add m. The last thing we should do is to notify the UI about that change, because this method doesn't run on the UI thread. So it's running on a different thread. So you have to notify the Blazor page that, hey, something has been changed on the UI. So you can say state has changed. Just call this function like this. And now we are ready. Let's start the application. And to test the notifications controller and send requests, I will run postman to be able to send requests. Okay. From here, I will copy this URL. Let's minimize this. I don't want it. Create a new request. Put the URL /API/notifications, and it's a post request. I can send the title equals to, hey, this is the first message. Now if I had sent, okay, go back to the Blazor app, and we haven't seen anything. That's simply because we forgot to click the connect button. I will click it again. I will send that request. You can see here, send. This is the message. Again, I will send another one. Wow, that's cool. As you can see, the UI being updated without even hitting refresh or without trigger any event, without clicking any button. The server send that data to the user, to the client, and shows it on the UI. I see that the appearance is not good, but anyway, at least the function is working. We can try that on multiple clients. Like I will run multiple instances of this app, start new instance, and start a new instance again. Here I have 3 instances of this Blazor apps being worked. This one, put this one here, and okay, this one here, and Postman. We'll click connect and connect. Now hit send. Wow, all the applications being updated every time I hit send. New message being received. That's really cool. I am a very big fan of SignalR for multiple reasons, because first, I'm a fan for .NET, and second main reason for falling in love with SignalR is just because it's very, very easy. As you have seen, just few lines of code, we can do a lot of nice things. Okay, that's very nice. Before we move to something else, what I want to make in the near future videos, like in upcoming few days, I will extend my example to make it something more realistic, like make an example about real business or about post and comments, or chat app. But for time being, this is the basics of SignalR. We will see how we can send messages to a specific user or a group of users, how we can set a group of users. Like this is the family group, this is the managers, this is I don't know, then you can send that message to that specific group. That was cool. I've really enjoyed that. Hope you too enjoyed it. Please, if you like that, don't forget to hit like and subscribe button to stay updated with every new video being published by AK Academy. This simple code will be available on GitHub. You can install it. If you got into any problem, simply put your question or your problem inside the comment section below of this video. I will try to respond as soon as I can. So thank you so much, and see you again.